Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day today. Happy New Year's. I know that's like 20 something days late, but needed to take some time off, so I apologize for the short hiatus. I also wanted to share this guitar with you guys, which I posted in my YouTube page as part of a community post. I got it 12 days ago, and as I mentioned in the post, I wanted to spend some time with it before sharing my thoughts, and I've been playing almost exclusively on this for the last 12 days, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. So we're going to go ahead and check out the Eart H6 Pro model. So this guitar is proof that I don't always just share random links and never actually buy this stuff. I do occasionally. When it's a really good deal like this one, which I had shared with you guys on YouTube, I had to Amazon gift card and I decided to go ahead and get it. And I was really curious to try this guitar because Eart offers guitars in a wide variety of price points, but on paper, they all seem to be almost the same. So I was really curious to see if I could notice a difference between one of their pro models and I guess one of their standard models, if we're going to call them that. And so this guitar actually retails for $799. And in this video, I want to assess a couple of things. Number one, I want to assess if it's noticeable, if there's any noticeable differences compared to some of the other Eart guitars that I've owned and have reviewed and shared with you guys in the past. I want to assess if it's worth that price point. And then I just kind of want to talk about if there's any differences really that I feel in this guitar compared to some of the others. And how does this compare to other guitars in its suggested retail price point? Now, I got it for, I believe it was $399 plus a 20% discount, so it was $319. That's the lowest I've ever seen it, which is why I decided to go ahead and use my Amazon gift card. But typically, this sells for $799, and have seen it on sale for $599, $6 something. And for a while, it was on sale with $399, which, as I mentioned, I posted on the YouTube page. So let's go over the specs of this guitar. It's a really nice looking guitar, as you can see. And one quick note that I want to add is I initially did an unboxing video. Then I kind of realized there wasn't anything exciting in the unboxing, so I decided not to share it. Let me know your thoughts, though. Is that something that you guys like to see? Do you like to see guitar unboxings? If there's no case candy or like special stuff in it, I don't know if it's entertaining enough or if there's any value other than assessing how the guitar comes out of the box, I guess. But this one came in a massive Amazon box. We've seen those in the channel before. And inside that was a square, or I should say rectangular box from Eart with a lot of foam packaging. I'll put close-ups in the screen for you guys so you can appreciate it. But all that to say, it was very well packaged. Inside the packaging, we have the following things. There is an Eart Guitars manual, which talks about how to set up your guitar and a couple other things. There's this card right here, which just says excellent major timbre. Okay. Electroacoustic art. That's what Eart stands for. And then we have the tools. And as a funny story, the tool for the truss rod adjustment doesn't fit. It's too big. Not a problem. I had a lot here that I could use, so not a big issue, but just thought I'd share that with you guys. This guitar has a swamp ash body in this fireburst finish, which is very nice, very elegant, looks very, very good to me. And then it has two Alnico pickups. I can't remember what the model names are. I'll post up any details on screen if I find anything. One volume, one tone, a three-way switch. This is a hip shot style import bridge. Aesthetically very similar to the real thing. And then for the neck, we have an interesting neck here. So this has an Indian rosewood fretboard, which is very dark, as you can see. We have a 5-piece, I believe this is Panga Panga and Wenge. I could be wrong though. I'll put it on screen if I'm wrong. Then we have the black tuners, which are 21 of 1 according to the spec sheet, a bone nut, and that headstock shape, which we're going to talk about later. And we also have 24 medium jumbo stainless steel frets, which are nicely rounded as we start to see more and more on affordable guitars. However, I should note that with Eart guitars, they're the first ones that did that, whereas once they did it, then other companies started doing it. But I've always felt like typically when it comes to polishing them and leveling them, at least over the past 2 years, I feel like out of all these affordable guitar companies, they're the ones that do the best job at it. I also feel like they do the best job in terms of fit and finish with their CNC machinery, the route work, all that stuff. We're going to look at it. We're going to remove the back plates and all this stuff. But typically, in my experience, that's what I think makes them stand out from some of the other more affordable options that are out there. But yeah, we're going to try this guitar. I'm going to give you some tones, some clean, some distorted, some lead tones, all that stuff. And then just talk about what I had to do in terms of setup and how it's held up for the past basically 2 weeks, tuning, stability, all those things. So let's get you some tone samples right now. So I've never been a fan of the Eart pickups that come with the guitars, and I don't know if these are any different, but they actually sound pretty decent to me. Not on the level of like an aftermarket component like Seymour Duncan or DeMarcio or anything like that. They're actually decent enough to where I don't feel the need to like run right away to a shop and get a set of pickups. So surprised to see that. One thing that I really do like, and I distinctively recall liking these on the original Eart Explorer or H6 model, is the bridge is fantastic quality. It might not be an original hip shot, but for an import bridge, I think it works very, very well. The nut is cut relatively well. The tuners are okay. They're not terrible, but they're not, again, comparable to like an aftermarket component. The fit and finish is flawless. When we look at the route work, it's very, very clean. We have full-size pots as well. All of that looks pretty, pretty good. If there's any things that I end up discovering or finding after the fact, I'll put close-ups on the screen for you guys. But yeah, as you could hear on the tones, I think they sound pretty good, both the clean, the distorted. One thing I like is I feel like there's a reasonable amount of clarity in these pickups. And that's a good thing for me because I do like pickups that produce a lot of clarity where I can hear every note despite how much distortion or gain I might be using. And I feel like these do a really good job at that. The guitar is very elegant, and the most important thing is the neck shape is very, very comfortable. I believe this is one of those compound neck shapes where it's U to C, which is typically what they do, with a 9.5 to 14-inch radius, compound radius. But if I'm wrong, I'll put it on screen. It feels great. That's really the most important thing here is It feels great. It's very, very comfortable. And as far as how it came, it needed just a slight truss rod adjustment. It was already playing relatively decent, and then it just needed a little cleanup because they stained the fretboard, and so it felt a little rough, but not too bad, honestly. And after playing it for a little bit, honestly, it's a very, very comfortable guitar. So in terms of playing comfort, this is as good as it gets in this price point. They did a phenomenal job. Now, as far as value, is where this ranks, how this compares to other guitars in that price point of $799. Here's my problem with it. I think that Eart is selling guitars basically direct, right? So there's no middleman. So this guitar was made by Schecter as it is, you know, with like Schecter branded components. I could see why it could possibly be $799 because they have to go through, there's a few middlemen there, right? So they go through, Schecter buys from the factory that makes them, and then they sell to like Musician's Friend and Sweetwater and all these people, and then they sell it to you. So there's multiple layers here. There's 1 to 0 layers here. If you buy from the Eart website, there's 0 layers. If you buy through Amazon, there's 1 layer, which takes a small commission. That's not as large as, you know, the differential between selling it to like Sweetwater for them to resell it to you. So I don't think it's worth $799. I think it's a little overpriced. Now, I also don't want to go ahead and say, oh, it should be sold for like $299 or something, because it is an excellent instrument. I think this is more akin to like the $500 range. To at the highest amount, I would put this maybe $599. I still think that's probably going to be high for some of you. But in terms of playing comfort and aesthetics, it's, I mean, like, you can't go wrong. Tuning stability is actually really good. So despite the fact that we don't have necessarily the world's best tuners here, it does do a relatively good job at holding in tune. I just wish, you know, if we're going to sell this for $799, I want to see this with aftermarket components, because at that point, then it becomes, oh, this is a value option, like it's worth it, right? Like if we take the same guitar, we put a Hipshot bridge, we put Seymour Duncan pickups and Grover locking tuners, and we sell it for $799, then I'm going to say, wow, that's a great deal, right? Because it already looks good, it plays good, but then it's going to sound good and hold tune even better, which, like I said, it already does a pretty decent job. And then we can also do a $10 here, $10 upgrade here with a Graphic Tussnock. But having all the Eart branded components being part of it, which affect the value, I just don't think it's worth $799. If you can find it on sale for $399 or less, absolute no-brainer. It's going to be a great mod platform. You are going to want to make some changes eventually, but it's pretty decent stock. Just not as good, again, as some of the higher-end stuff that you could buy for like the $799 range. So overall, if I were to give this guitar a rating, it depends on how we're doing that, right? If I'm ranking this based on the price that I pay for it, which is $319, I'm giving it a solid like 9.5 or 10 out of 10. If I'm basing it off $799, I would say it's like a 5 or a 6. Like, it's still a great player. It still holds tune relatively well, but it just doesn't have the value to me. And the pickups, again, they're decent, but they're not amazing. So I think that's something that's lacking. That's probably like the biggest area of opportunity. Yeah, but those are my thoughts for this video. Really cool looking guitar. I do want to mention one thing before I wrap up. I absolutely hate the headstock design, and I have no idea who said this is a great design. Let's go ahead with it. I'm actually going to try to reshape this. So I'm going to sell most of my guitars, but I'm actually going to keep this one because it plays really well. But I'm definitely reshaping that headstock. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to, yeah, sort of maybe something like this. That probably doesn't make sense. But if I can use some of that wood leverage that I have there and maybe like reshape it like a Schecter headstock, I think that will look cool. Not to copy someone else, but this design is horrible. It's such a nice looking guitar, and the neck is so nice, and like everything's so nice about it, but the headstock's just terrible. Also, be noted that I actually have about 20 to 30 videos worth of content on my phone. Stuff that I recorded in the past and I haven't uploaded because it wasn't available by the time I was going to upload, or just random things happen, or I just didn't have time to edit. So I think what I'm going to do moving forward is I am going to upload these things, even though some of those items might not be available new. There's a chance someone might find them used or in Marketplace or something like that. And I feel like it will be helpful to some people. So I'll still share them. Now, just mind, as you watch some of those videos, you might hear stuff that was relevant 6 months ago or 9 months ago. You know, it is what it is, but I do want to show gratitude because we did reach 2,000 subscribers last year, and I'm really grateful for that. I wasn't expecting us to do that. And so that's awesome, and I want to show my gratitude by being a little more consistent with my upload schedule and upload frequency. And so expect to see a lot of content for sure, and I might even do like a guitar collection video if that's something you'd like to see. Right now there's a lot, and there's not going to be a lot, so I think it'll be interesting to do that. Anyways, I've blabbed on long enough. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around till the end, really appreciate that. If you like this kind of content, leave me a like, comment, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff because it helps the guy out. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.